tonight we're actually live. This is autumn in New York because it's September 1st. So I thought we're heading into autumn, and I'm actually doing something, doing a card where we're in the park, and so I'm guessing this is Central Park. I hope it is. I don't know. I just thought it was absolutely beautiful. We don't have any changing colors or anything outside yet, but this is really very much like what it's going to look like in Michigan in no time. So anyway, thank you guys all for being so patient with us tonight. Thank you for being here. I'm going to go ahead and switch the camera so that you guys can see what we're going to get started on. So give me just a moment. Let me find something else here. Hold on. There are just too many things. Okay. Oh, and we're all crooked. There we go. That's a little better. Okay. So while we're really zoomed in too, we're going to zoom back just a little bit. We've got a new camera. We've got new everything here. So it's going to be kind of interesting. We're hoping to not have any of those little glitches where, you see that little box on the screen and all that stuff. So, yep, I think that's good, Alan.
Clear.
Yep, I think it's good. Okay, so tonight we're going to be working with a day in the park. I didn't have a whole lot of time because, like I said, we're actually preparing for a trade show that we're going to be doing. It's a virtual trade show. It's a big undertaking for us. So I didn't have a whole lot of crafting time today, but I really wanted to make something fun. So I thought I'm going to make a very simple window card. And so I decided to work with a day in the park. And because you can use this all year long, you can change this. Well, not obviously we have a bike and a skateboard, so Michigan's not going to work with these because we get snow. But regardless, this is kind of a year-round set. And so I pulled these in. And I'm going to show you my slimline die set, although I only used one die from it. What's wrong?
Keep going.
Okay. I grabbed my slimline corner scallop die set because I wanted to work with this little square here for the window. I wanted to put a window in the middle of the card. I was looking at the heart, and I thought that's not going to work for what I wanted to do with the card. The flower would have worked great if I were doing a real summery kind of a thing. But I wanted it to be a little more like fall, so I went with that scallop square. And then I also pulled in this coordinating set. The squares work together really nicely with the stitch squares. We were really careful. You've heard me talk about this before. We're very, very careful with the sizes that we did with this so that it's kind of universal and we could use it with a lot of the things that we have. And then I also pulled in a cloudy sky because I wanted the clouds. And then I pulled in, these are my dies from my In the Grass set. It's a 3-die set, and I used these 2 out of the 3. So let me show you where we are and what we did, or what I did. I have not really put this together at all, so I don't know how it's going to work. But let me say this also. For anybody who has any interest in winning anything tonight, we always have a giveaway. And the only way that we can choose the winner for the giveaway is from the comments. So leave a comment, and we will know that you're here. And that way, we can, let me move something on my screen here so I can see everything. That way, we can call your name. Wouldn't it be great? Yay! So anyway, oh, and also, you're free to ask me just about anything you want. I will do my best to answer. I'll answer just about anything. You can ask me personal questions, any questions about products or anything, anything you want. I will do my best to answer, but no politics, no religion. We keep it very, very light. So here we go. I've gone ahead and this is my little window card, and I'm going to show you my thinking on this in the process. I wasn't supposed to show you this, but I got it all out there. I did put some trees out here. I'm going to color this one up for you because I thought it might be fun to show you how I colored it. Here's some more of I stamped a bunch of things from the In the Park stamp set. So I have the little girl walking the dog. I have this other little dog here. 3 of the trees, the little park bench, and then these are from the clouds. I have one of them that has already got some color on it, and I'm going to color up the other 2. I have my little sentiment. And then and then I also have a little frame. And then I have these 3 pieces, and I'm going to talk to you about how I did these as well. So let me first thing I'm going to do is tackle some coloring, get all the coloring out of the way. So I'm going to color up this last tree first. But I want to show you my thinking on the coloring of these. I wanted to have some different colors to the trees, and I wanted them to be kind of cartoon-like. So I went very, very bright in the center, and then I really wanted you to be able to kind of see the lines that I put around the edges there. So it was kind of cartoon-like, and I think they turned out really cute. And so I'm going to do a third one in a different color combination. And let me show you the colors that I pulled up for this. Now I'm coloring with Copic markers. So it's an alcohol marker. So that means that I went ahead and I stamped on my Neenah Classic Crest Solar White cardstock, 110 pound. Now, if you go to get this cardstock, I get it from Cut Cardstock. We are looking at putting it in the store, but for now I get it at Cut Cardstock. They do have 2 different weights. Make sure you get the 110 pound cover weight. So I went ahead and I stamped my images on that. And then I pulled 3 greens here. I'll give you the numbers really quickly, and then I'll put the caps out so I can show you which ones. These are YGs, so it's a yellow-green. So I have YG 91. Oops, I got the wrong side. Let me flip that around. So YG 91. Let's go here, this side. YG 95. I don't usually pull them off and let them sit, so it's kind of strange. And then YG 99. Those are the 3 colors. Can I zoom this in, Alan? Do I just turn this?
Yeah.
Okay. There we go. Let me see if I can stop that from bouncing. There we go. So YG 91, 95, and 99. When I color, I tend to go light to dark. So I've got YG 91 in my hand, and I'm literally going to just go around with this and color all of that white in. So that's going to be kind of like my base. I'm going to try and keep it in the lines as best I can. Now, I'm not going to leave any white space on this because I don't want those real highlights, those white, bright highlights on this. So that was a technique that I showed you guys last week, and where I left that in there. But it really depends on what I'm coloring. So I want that light color to stay on the inside. So now I'm going up 1 to YG 95. And now I'm just going to kind of come around. Now I love these markers. They have a wonderful brush tip. So that brush tip, you can press on that and just bend that around into the shape that you want. So this is just how I did it. I just came around with my color, let the brush do the work. Just kind of glide that around. All right. And then my next color is YG 99. And I'm going to take that right on the very outside. A little bit less than the second color that I put down. Now there's probably 100 different ways you can color up these trees. You don't have to do it this way. You can do it any way you want. But now I'm going to start pulling that in just a little bit. I find that if I have uneven lines, see how I'm kind of brushing it in? It's much easier for me to blend. So now I go back to my lightest color, which is my YG 91. And I'm just going to kind of pull that in a little bit and just start to blend those colors a tiny bit. I don't want to blend them completely together because that's not the look I'm going for. I want it to look kind of cartoon-like. So this is how I did my first 2. And it just kind of softens that edge a little bit. pull some of that color in from the darker colors. And then I'm going to go back up to my middle color, which is YG95. And I'm going to pull a little more of that in. And then back down to my lighter color just to kind of blend that up a tiny bit. Because my goal is to be able to see all three of these colors. Remember, if you have any questions, make sure you put them out there. Alan is standing by. And now I'm going to strengthen the lines here. Now watch what I'm doing with this one. Now I'm going to go, I'm not going all the way out to the edge. See how I leave that little bit of that lighter color there? That's going to give me kind of that cartoon look. It looks very intentional, and I think it's really pretty. And then I'm going to go in and do the same thing with my medium color, which is the YG95. And then just to soften those edges a bit with my lightest color. Just like so. I'm not really making circles, I'm kind of scooping it around. But I think it's really pretty. I do have an area here where I have a little bit lighter than I want it to be, one little dot there. Okay, so I like this. I think it's really pretty. I love to have the texture, the change of the colors in there. It almost has kind of a glowing kind of a feel. And so I have the three different colored trees here, and I think they're going to be really pretty. So we have these three different greens like that. I think they're really, really pretty. All right, so let's see. Terry is saying, do you draw these images? No, I do not draw these images. We have several illustrators. That I'm so sorry. I'm having a little trouble, Alan. Do you need something? I'm not sure. No, it's not that. It's vertigo. The room started to spin. Okay. I'm so sorry, everybody. We're having a magical night tonight. You're just going to have to give me a moment because I have vertigo, and I need to wait for things to stop spinning. Okay, everybody, I think I'm, hold on a minute. I think I'm doing a little bit better. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. This is what happens on live TV, live video, but I have vertigo, and sometimes it gets really bad and I'm having trouble with it right now. So, but I think I got it to stop. So anyway, we have the trees colored here. And I'm going to go ahead with these two clouds. I'm so sorry. I'm a little flustered right now. So I'm very sorry. I've got two Copic markers right here. And the two that I'm going to work with, I've got BG, put my glasses back on, BG quadruple 0. And then my next one is C1, which is a cool gray, and I very specifically chose a cool gray because I'm working with blue. And as you can see in this particular cloud, all I'm doing, the dye already gives us a lot of texture in there, and it gives us those beautiful stitch marks. And all I'm going to do is kind of enhance that a little bit. All right, so I'm taking my BG quadruple 0. I'm not sure you can see too much color here because this is a super, super light color. Some of my favorite colors in the Copic markers are the quadruple 0s because they're incredibly light, really, really soft. So I'm going to do the same thing on this one. The nice thing about using these really soft colors is, and I am going to darken this a bit. I'm just kind of laying the color down to see where I want it to be. So that is my BG quadruple 0. Now I'm going to go in with, this is C, actually I want a C0, not C1. Told you I'm a little flustered. Sorry about that. C00. It's a very, very light gray, and it's just going to allow me to kind of shadow a tiny, tiny little bit here. Is that showing up at all on camera, Alan? Hmm? Is this showing up at all on the, the screen when you're looking at like YouTube and stuff? Can you guys see that color at all?
I can't, no.
Okay, then I'm going to go one up in color. It's going to be a little bit darker than what I would normally do, but I want you guys to be able to see it. So I'm going to go up to a C1 and add just a tiny, tiny little bit in these areas. There, now I think you can see it. Well, it is going to be very, very faint. You don't want to add a lot of this because you don't want it to look like storm clouds. But it's really, really pretty when you have that blue down first, and then you add this little tiny bit of gray over it. Comes out really, really pretty. And then if you want, you can even strengthen that blue again afterwards. Because once you go over it with some gray, the blue doesn't really stand out as much anymore. See how pretty that is? I just think it's really nice. Sandra is saying, when will the subscription boxes be ready? That's a great question. Our first one is actually coming out in October. I will be announcing a date as soon as I have, as soon as we know exactly when all the products are going to be here. Because right now things are a little bit behind with some of our manufacturing. And I don't want to promise a date, a ship date, if we can't deliver that. So, I mean, regardless, we're going to be delivering it. I just don't want to promise a ship date if I can't meet it. So here we go. So we have these clouds already. I want to show you what we did here. Now, let me move all these little pieces over, and we're going to zoom back out. Let's go back out this way a little bit. There we go. Jen is saying, I hope LDRS comes out with electronic gift cards in time for Christmas. Alan, you got to write that down. I think that's a fantastic suggestion. I'm guessing, Jen, that you were the one that said that last time, and it slipped my mind. Huh?
Okay.
So here's what I did. I took from the stitch squares and from the slimline corner scallop. All right, so slimline corner scallop, we take this little square scallop, and from the stitch square, we use the middle die. Now you'll see, if I line these up together, you'll see how beautifully they work, all right? You can see how they line right up. So this square is the same size as this square in the center here. If I use this die, when we talked about dies the other day, I've got a cut line on the outside and I've got a cut line on the inside. So if I just put this die face down on here and run this through my machine, I'm going to cut that entire scallop piece out, which I don't want to do, because all I want to have is that little square on the card itself. So that's why I went to the stitch square, and that's why I think it's so important to have the stitch square as well as the stitch circles as an add-on. And I just think that these add-on dies are fantastic, and they're really inexpensive. They're just very, very versatile. So here's the front of my card. This is an A2 card base, by the way. It's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. It's a half a sheet of letter size paper, and it's just cut in half at the 5 1/2 mark. So blade side down, notice this is a double stitch. So we have the cut line in the middle, and then we have the stitch marks on either side of it, so that's a double stitch. So this would go down just like this. We would tape this down. I'm not going to spend time doing that part, but we would tape this down, run it through the machine, through your die cutting machine, and then you're going to get this, okay? Now, in order to have this, what you would do is, let me get that die out. This is what I did. I lined it up where I wanted it to be. Got it taped down, and then I went ahead and I stamped my sentiment in the center. Let me turn this over so you can see. I stamped this sentiment that says hello neighbor, and underneath it I stamped this cute little flower. That's what's right there. So this was under here like this. It was part of the card. And I put the die over it. I stamped my sentiment and everything, and then I ran it through the die machine, through the die cutting machine. Make sure when you do that, you don't have your card closed when you run it through the die cutting machine. Make sure you open it up. So you're going to do it this way, okay? And then when you run it through, it comes out just like this. This is what you get. You run it through, pull it out of the machine. It's going to look like this. Untape it, pop this up, and then your little sentiment is going to pop out, okay? And then you have your little window in your card. So it's all perfect. Lisa is saying, what types of items will be in the subscription box? There's going to be all kinds of items. There's going to be all kinds of goodies. You know, you know what our product line is. We have stamps and dies and stencils and papers and all that. So you're going to see that, and we're going to have some other little goodies in there too. So they will have a theme to them, and everything's going to coordinate. The plan is we're also going to have. I think we're going to do 5 cards. Like you can make, we'll have like 5 different card samples. They're not going to be in the box, of course, but suggestions, kind of a how-to with some simple instructions of how you can make those cards to get you started. So let's see. I'm going to set these aside. So then the next thing that I did was I took some blue cardstock that I had and I matched it up. I'm very, very particular about having all my colors on my card coordinate. So when I was coloring my images, I pulled in these blues. It's the BG00, BG01, and BG02. That's what I used to color the blue on the clouds, some of the pieces, some of the parts to the park bench, and her dress. So those colors coordinate. And then I grabbed a lighter version of it. This actually matches really, really well with the BG01. If you can see that that looks almost perfectly coordinated with it. This, I just happen to have it in my stash. And I cut that out with this die. So my plan is to use this on the front of this frame because it lines up so perfectly. Remember I laid those next to each other, one behind the other. Look how perfectly that frames that square. And then the sentiment's going to be on the inside. So that is the plan. We're going to see if it comes together because you never know. Never know once you get started. So let's see. I also created these. And this is where my idea for the 3 different colored trees, this is where this came in. I wanted to have grass and I wanted to have 3 layers of it. So I took 3 different greens. This is kind of a brownish green, and I used the hill dye that we have in the grass, and I laid it this way on the paper. at an angle and cut it. The next green was more of a forest green, and I laid this on, I angled it again in this direction, so kind of opposites, so I had two different hills. Oops. I'll tell you, today, it's gonna be nice to get into bed. Something to look forward to. And then for the last one, I used this, the straight plain grass dye, and I have a brighter green, and I just laid that right across straight and ran it through the machine. And so I have 3 different colors of the green, so they really show off nicely. And I went and did 3 different, almost coordinating colors with the trees. So this one is the lighter green. This one is kind of goes with, you see that dark color there, works nicely with that kind of forest green. And then this one has a little more of that brown in it. So that's why I pulled those particular colors for the trees, so that they would work really nicely with the grass. These are the things that I think about when I'm making a card. I think about how it's all going to work together and how it's going to layer. And you know, and in this case, I kind of just started coloring, like her is really where I started. And that was kind of where it started some of my color scheme. And then of course with the trees, I pulled that, like I said, from the paper that I had. If you have different shades of green, then go with different shades of green. This is just what I happen to have on hand. So that's why I went with these. So on the front of the card, right at the base, I'm going to go ahead and put this first piece of grass here and get that right down to the bottom. And when I cut it, when I cut all 3 of these, I started with a piece of grass that was only 4 1/4 wide, because I knew that that was going to be the width of my card. So Alan, do we have any questions?
Well, I haven't seen any.
No questions? Where's my foam? Here we go. Here's my foam. You guys are familiar with my foam. Were you starting to wonder if I was going to use foam today? I was starting to wonder. I was a little nervous about whether or not I was going to be able to finish making the card, to be honest with you. Oy vey. Oops. So there we go. So I'm going to put foam on this because I like to have dimension on my cards. Oops, I have it on the wrong side. I'm full of mistakes today. I really am. I'm absolutely full of mistakes. If Stephanie's there and she's watching, she's shaking her head. Well, you know what? We all have our days, right? It's kind of what you know, how you deal with it. There's only so much you can do. You can get mad, you can get upset, you can stomp your feet, you can cry, or you can just say, you know what? Nothing I can do about it. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. Nothing I can do about it. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and get this piece. I'm going to cut this in half. My foam is really wide, which I really like. It helps me, it gives me the option or the opportunity, the option to kind of control how thick or how thin I want something to be. All I have to do is cut it in half. And I love these scissors. Somebody asked once before, do they get gummy? And no, they don't, not at all. I have several of these scissors kind of around the craft room. I absolutely love them. We actually have them in the store now that I think about it. I almost forgot. They're fantastic. And I have different colors of them too, because I bought them at different times, and the company you know, changes the color. I think the ones we have in the store right now are orange. So let's see, I'm going to put this flat one at the very, very bottom. Let's see. Oh, Alan, I was just going to look up. I saw that you were typing something. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and put this frame right down flat, I think, because I'm going to have the trees up. And let's see. Let's see. Elizabeth is saying, will there be anything new or any specials on the 5th? We do have specials on the 5th. I'm trying to remember what we have going on the 5th. Yeah, we do have bundles going on the 5th. And we've got, we've got a fantastic discount, and the discount will be good on all the bundles. Our newest collection is not coming out until, let's let's see, let me make sure I get this on here right. Our newest collection is not coming out for a few weeks yet. So you won't see the new collection yet. Somebody's saying, do you know when you'll be live on the 5th? I don't, you know what? I posted it in the Facebook group. I do know I have that out there. That's in the Facebook group. So I'm going to go ahead and get some more foam here. Let's see. We're going to start by putting, I'm going to lay these out. Let me go like this. My card doesn't want to lay flat. So I'm going to start laying this out how this is going to go. How I think it's going to go. I'm going to put the dark one. Let me go like this. I think I'm going to go like that. And maybe like that. And then she, with the little dog, and your little dog too, is going to go there. We have to have a park bench, right? Because they're in the park. Cute little scene. I don't think this little dog is going to fit in there. And I'm not sure if we're gonna put clouds in there, but I'm not sure how much we're going to see them. Maybe I'll just kind of go like that and put 2 clouds there because I don't want to overcrowd the whole thing. I think that's where we're going to go. I think that's how we're going to land. That's where it's going to be. So let's get started. I'm going to leave things where they are while I can. I'm going to go ahead and put some foam under this cloud and get this cloud into position. And I'm not even concerned if it comes down over that scallop a bit. This one is going to lay flat. I don't want to have everything up. And it's okay if it hangs over. I can always trim that. So this tree is going to lay flat. Got little fuzzies everywhere. There we go. And then this next tree, do we have any questions from anybody else? Let's see. Sandra is saying, will there be any new LDRS on HSN Craft Day on the 11th? Our next HSN is in October. So no. Oh, see, this was another boo-boo. You can see when I was getting ready, when I was stamping things, I was messing up my stamping, so I ended up flipping my paper over. I'm telling you, all my boo-boos, they started really early today. It's been a day. So no, our next new stuff for HSN is going to be in October, and we've got some really, really cool stuff, I got to tell you. Let's see. Is that hidden? Yeah, I think so. So let's put this one. Just like that. And this to me is like the fun part. It's just kind of playing with these things and seeing where they're going to fit. Creating that little scene. I'm going to tuck this down because in the park here by the grass. Let's lift that up a little bit maybe. How cute. Almost centered. We're going to get this tree in here. Let me get another little piece of this foam. Yeah. Let's see how that's going to work. Actually, you know what? I don't need that foam there because that's already up on, the piece that's going to lay on is already up on foam. So that's going to work there. And let's see. Put that there. Did I lay this down? I don't know if I have enough tape on that. Let's see. You know what? I'm going to use my other tape. There we go. That'll be stronger. That one holds like you wouldn't believe. There we go. And then she has to be up on phone because she's kind of the star of the show. Let's see. And her little dog too. Alan loves when I say that. He loves, we're kind of a family of like movie quotes. So we tend to say a lot of those all the time. And some of his favorite stuff is, this is not straight. Oh my gosh, why didn't you guys tell me it wasn't straight? It's all your fault. There. Anyway, one of his favorites is, I can't think of it.
I'll be your Huckleberry.
No, your little dog
care.
too. What's the movie?
I don't care.
No, what's the movie?
Which one? Wizard of Oz?
Wizard of Oz.
Oh.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Which,
I'll be your Huckleberry. No, that's not what I was talking about. Look how cute. So I'm just going to trim this off. I don't worry when I'm preparing these, like when I'm putting them together, I don't worry about whether or not I have something go off the edge because I can always cut things off. I do want to move that tree over a little bit if I can. Only because I can see it from the other side. And remember when I said I messed up my coloring or my stamping? So now I don't see it. I think it looks really cute. So then the next thing is to color this in. So let me put a few things away here because I've ended up with too much stuff. Yeah, does anybody know what movie one of his favorite quotes is, "I don't care." Does anybody know what movie that's from? I don't care. What a goofball. All right, let's see. And then I need a green. So let's see. So I pulled the same colors that I used like on her dress and some of the trees. And I'm just going to color these little flowers in. So on her dress, actually this is one of the greens. It's YG23. And I have some little leaves here. So I'm just going to touch that in to those little leaves. I don't care if I get them completely covered. Let's see. Let's go in this direction. There we go. And then I'm going to then go to my blue, which is, I've got B01 and, wrong, yeah, it's the right side, B02. So B01, B02. And let me see, I'm going to do blue in the center one. That way I get a little more pink than blue. And just come in. So I went with the light color first, and I'm just kind of dotting the darker color in there just a tiny little bit. So by doing that, I'm only dotting the darker color like on the outside of the petals because I want to highlight the inside. And it just adds a little bit of depth, which is really, really nice. And then my two colors for pink are, it's RV, which is a red violet. So RV 13 and RV 14. And so again, I'm going to start really light. This is a really pretty kind of bright pink. So I start with the light color, and then I'm going to go the darker color on the outside of those little petals. And actually, let me do that again. There we go. And I'm not even going to come down in there and blend those in because I really want the center of that to be the lightest. Do you have any adhesives in the store? We have adhesives. We actually have, dun 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 dun. Let me see if I can, this is the wrong way. We actually have this tape glider. This is a tape glider I use like crazy. It's my favorite. Yes, we have these, the Scotch, and each one of these actually comes with 2 tape rolls already, and then we have some of the refills as well. But this is my go-to. I absolutely love that. And then we've got, let's see if I can get this camera. I keep going the wrong way with that. We have the big old honkin' tape roll. This is what everybody wanted. It's actually 38 yards of foam tape. This is where I'm at with my foam tape. It was bigger when we started this in March, and as you can see, I mean, I do videos all the time. I do crafting all the time, and I still have some of this left. This is going to take me several shows to get through it. So here we go. So this is my cute little sentiment. So I'm going to go ahead and get my tape gun back out, and I'm going to put some adhesive on that. And now to place this, I'm going to put it right through the center of this little window. Just like so. Very careful when I pop that down there. Make sure it all stays. There we go. So there's my little sentiment. And then I can actually put this little dog here if I want. That could be kind of cute. Hello, neighbor. See, more mistake. Today was a day of mistakes. Everybody seems kind of quiet today.
I'm just trying not to breathe and hopefully get through 15 more minutes.
Helen.
Yeah, you got a sentiment on there? Yes. Okay.
Yes, I do. I have a sentiment, and I have my little dog on the back, on the inside of that too. I'm not going to bother with that cloud, but I think it's really cute. This is actually, it's super, super, I need to like score this down the side, but it's a super easy card, a very, very quick card to make. It's mostly die cuts. I mean, there's some basic coloring in there, but it's mostly die cuts, and I think it's really, really cute. And as you know, I love scenic cards. I think it's just really sweet. Hello, neighbor. This is a card you could literally give to, well, any of your neighbors, and you could put any sentiment in there. But this is a card I would love to receive. I think it's really pretty. Really pretty. Oh, and speaking of mistakes, this is actually the second park bench that I did, because as I was working and I was coloring, I have never, ever, ever before today had one of my Copic markers all of a sudden just kind of spew out a bunch of ink. And as I was coloring up this park bench for the first time, it just suddenly just dropped a ton of ink, and thankfully it only landed on the park bench, so I didn't have to color everything again. But yeah, I should have known then. Should have known then. Let's see, do we have any other questions from anybody? Hi, everybody. I am so sorry. I kind of had that little dizzy thing going on earlier. It's so weird. I don't know if any of you guys deal with vertigo. I literally, you know, I don't like going into all my personal stuff, but I literally one morning, how many years ago now? Almost, I think it'll be 2 years in November. I literally woke up, I went to bed one night, totally fine. And in the morning when I woke up, I just kind of rolled over. I was going to get up, and the world just started tumbling. And November will be 2 years, and it has not gone away. It's gotten better, and it's been more manageable, but I never know when it's going to happen, and I haven't had any trouble with it today at all. So I don't know why all of a sudden while I was coloring, all of a sudden it happened. It must have been a problem when I lowered my head or something. I don't know. It's just very strange. So anyway, I am sorry about that. I feel so bad. It's been kind of a weird kind of a day. So anyway, you're going to look through the trees here. Isn't that cool? It's actually kind of cool when you look at it. Let me put it up here where you see, and it does this because of the green screen, but I think it's kind of cool how you can see through the trees. This one up here, it doesn't do it because it's more of a green brown, so it's not really working with that one. But anyway, I hope you like the card. It was fun. Oh, I got to tell you guys before I forget, you know, I've mentioned that we're getting ready for that trade show that we're going to be doing. So because of that, we have so much to do this week in preparation for it. There's no way I'm not gonna have time to prep and be here with you guys on Thursday night. So I am gonna have to miss Thursday night. So I wanted to let you know that. So the next time we're gonna get together is gonna be a week from today. So I am sorry for that. I feel bad. I love doing these, so I hate missing it. I'm sorry. But anyway, giveaway time. Let's do a giveaway. So hopefully you guys are still here. Excuse me. The giveaway tonight is going to be brand new, of course, not my used ones. Day in the Park stamps and dies, and we've got a winner up here already. Alan has chosen Lori Fluette. Lori Fluette. You are the winner. Congratulations! Yay! All we need from you is your address so that we can get these shipped out to you. So go to customer service at ldrscreative.com and give us your complete mailing address. We need your name too, of course, because if you just put a mailing address, I won't know why it's there. Sorry. Anyway, congratulations, Lori. Looking forward to seeing what you make with these. Please be sure to share your projects with us. We'd love to see what you make in our Facebook group. And those of you that are on YouTube, if you're not already in our Facebook group, we'd love for you to join it. It's a wonderful place. We have so many people sharing their projects there now, and our inspiration team also, or design team also shares inspirational cards with you as well. So it's a really, really great place to see and to share some gorgeous projects made with our products. So anyway, oh, and if you haven't already joined our or subscribed to our YouTube, we'd love for you to do that too. If you subscribe to our YouTube channel, then you'll get an email sent to you every time we have a video that gets uploaded, because I do these lives twice a week, but we have other videos that we upload throughout the month as well. So that's a really, really great special little surprise that you'll get emailed to you, that we have a new video with some new projects and showing you how to do some special things. So anyway, I think we're early tonight, unless we have any more questions, do we?
No, let me check real quick.
Any more questions? No?
Don't see any.
No? Alrighty. Well, I think we're early tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed the card. I love being here. And again, I'm so sorry that we had technical issues, both with the computer and with my head. So good night, everybody. We'll see you back here in a week. I'm going to miss you. Bye. I can't find the screen stuff to turn.